It's minimal difference. You could tell the very first one definitely had a little bit more muzzle flash, but that second one, by the way.
Yeah, no need for that.
Bro.
That's what I'm holding it.
Yeah, bro. All right, one more again. One more again.
Here we go. So hot. Good. That's a smooth shot.
Welcome back, everybody. Clint today with Classic Firearms. We've got Jason with us.
What's going on, guys?
And we've got Aaron back with us today.
Ladies and gentlemen.
And Aaron and I both took a look at Jason's SIG over here, and we were like, dude, we need to do a full-on breakdown, a video, tip to butt, with what you've got going on here, because I've seen some really unique things that I haven't even seen before, and I know you're into this stuff. You're just loving it. So let's just roll into this. First of all, what is the gun? What is the foundation of what you have built here?
All right, so basically it starts off as a SIG MCX Virtus, but a little bit turned on
Pick it up and show to the people. I mean, it's glorious.
This thing's pretty cool. Chonky, don't get it twisted. It's got some weight, some girth, pause to it. So it definitely does its job. But at the base of it is a Tacops upper, 6.75 inch 300 blackout barrel, 1-in-5 twist. Enough just to get it out there and reach out and touch something accurately. So for me, it definitely does its jazz. Starting off at front, got this lovely Sandman K with the e-brake.
Yeah.
Does its jazz. I love what it does. The e-brake just pokes out just enough.
Yeah, I
from
see
this
that.
SD handguard.
It's clearing.
Tolerances are thin, very, very thin.
Just a tip.
Absolutely. On the side of that, I got a Mod Light OKW, just to punch out, you know, and send it. No, nothing too crazy there. All the lumens, what they say. On top is the Adipole C or the PEG 15, the civilian version, because I didn't go gray market on it, so it is what it is.
So that's what I've got. Mine's the FD on the Mark 18, but I'm noticing you've got this little contraption sitting right up front here. What is this?
So this is a Villain Weapon Systems. I forgot the name of it, but it's basically a diffuser for the IR illuminator. There's lenses inside. You can switch it between the long range and or the mid range, and this just gives you maximum flood.
All right, which is super cool, because something for those of you that might not know, and this excites me quite a bit, because the Adipole C, the IR illuminator, yes, the IR laser and visible laser, is this red?
Yep.
Yeah. I guess I don't make a green one. Nope. Do they? Nope. Okay, so that was a dumb question. But anyway, the actual laser, yes, and they're what's the word I'm looking for?
Slate?
Yes, thank you. So the visible laser and the IR laser are one, right? The IR illuminator, however, you can't make any adjustments like you can on the laser, so you're just left with what you got. So if you zero your laser and you're noticing you're favoring the right side of your IR illuminator, there's nothing you can do to change that until now Villain Weapon Systems has come out with this diffuser that allows you to have more of a throw, more of a flood. It's up to you, which I think is really cool, and that's a neat little feature.
It is. It's really, really cool.
Yeah, now you don't use this for night vision or anything.
Oh, no, I just totally have this set up for LARPing. Hardcore. No, I've run primarily night vision. That's what I normally do.
Got it. And so do you notice, how much of a flood are we talking here?
So we're talking, I'll just use a room for instance, and normally with the normal Adipole C, it's just focused, concentrated. Right. Maybe if you're in a room standing back, it's maybe 3 foot spread. Yeah. With this, I'm getting a full maybe 15 to 20. It will completely illuminate the entire room.
That's pretty cool.
So that to me is money in the bank, and that's why I'm completely sold on it. So
yeah, okay, big fan of that. Now let's go ahead and move on a little bit further back here. We've got your pressure systems.
Yeah, it's pressure systems, switches, activation devices, of course running the DS00 on the rear to give me that momentary just in case redundancies. 2 is 1, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I like this setup on there.
Oh yeah.
It's clean.
Honestly, this is old school now that Unity came out with their Axon sync, and I've got that one on my 11.5 Virtus, but I'm still rocking this one, old dog, so that's just how, yeah. There you go. Unity hot button right here. That's just to activate my PEC. I can obviously go overboard and do a manual with my finger, no problem. But if I'm here in the ready position and I'm just ready to go, that's what I'm doing. And I've got the mod button on the back, activates the OKW, and it just does its jazz. A little bit of bootleg cable management there, but guess what? It works. It works. On the side panels, I've got rail scales, dragon skin.
Yeah, dude, the rail scales, man, they're solid.
They are, and I mean, this thing heats up a little bit, especially under like immense rounds.
Right.
So I just need something to eat away that
To absorb
heat.
some of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Their little hand stop here, minimal, does the job, everything that I need in war. So going back is the we had a sight system here starting
Yeah,
off.
so this is something you got a lot happening just right here.
Oh, yeah.
And I really like, I'm already noticing the dovetail mount and all that type of stuff, which again is pretty cool because it's your gun. You talk about it.
So yeah, out of the box it comes with 6 flip-up sights on the Tacops version. It's cool, but I've also got it sitting on top of a Wilcox riser with their flip-side mount. You guys can find these. I will say this: people scalp these like crazy, and they become crazy expensive. I'm talking about well over the MSRP of what it actually is.
What is the MSRP?
$8.99.
The cool factor is there.
The cool factor is definitely there, but it comes with it's also the front sight post to elevate that as well, so you can hook up the front and rear and elevate them all at the same plane. So it's just a 5/8 riser.
Again, and when you think about this is your primary CQB night vision.
Right.
And so you want that to be a little bit higher up, especially if you're going to be doing passive aiming. And so this is a really neat setup. And of course, if some of your electronics fail, you at least have your irons to fall
Oh
back.
yeah, absolutely. So I mean, with that, man, it's just a good all-around go-to. You know, I can slap subs in here, supers, and a switch go from close range, go out to about 300 yards if need be. And
So I'm gonna point out 2 other things I like.
Yeah.
I like that magwell.
oh yes,
Don't forget about that shot.
Oh man, okay. So shout out to HRF Concepts. If you don't know, look him up on IG. His stuff is all open source stuff, and he does whiz bang things with polymers. And this RCM magwell, money, especially under knots. I cannot tell you.
That's something we're definitely going to talk about here in just a second, why you want some oversized controls. If this is going to be a nighttime shooter, we'll talk about that here in just a moment. But hit on that charging handle that Aaron just pointed out.
Oh yeah, the charging handle is from, let's see here, lovely folks over at Rainier Arms, their Avalanche. I like this better than the Radian. I know this bold words, that's just me. It has enough meat on it to go. It's not too big, it's not too in the way, but it's got enough tangible space to actually get on and grab.
I like that.
So it definitely does its jazz, man. For real.
So, I mean, overall, I mean, it's a fantastic setup. It looks great, nice and clean, and everything is positioned in a manner to be used, right? So what typically are the nods that you're running?
So I run BNVD 1431 Mark IIs. My shout out to my guys, Op4 Night Solutions, hooked it up really good. Nice, some Weiss phosphorus tubes, crispy, high foam. I'm good. That's all I need, man.
Nice. Sounds like my little green PVS 14 needs an upgrade.
But you know, so hold on. I will say this: depending on what you're using it for and where you live, that's really to me what determines what type of phosphor you should go for.
Yeah.
I live primarily in an urban area, so picking up the high tones, the white lights, white phos is going to be good for me. If I lived more of a rural area, I would definitely go for green. So.
Is that right? So I never really took that into consideration, and I live like, you know, right there, right? So like in the woods, right? So it's kind of like, okay, so maybe that makes sense, you know? And I've trained and I've gotten really good with the PVS 14, just a monotube, you know, and that's something, again, I've always been really well adapted to. So let's go ahead and explain to the people really quick why these oversized controls, why such an enlarged magwell might assist under night vision.
So under nods, everything goes gross motor skills, everything. From down, you can be the quickest 1R1 reloader, but then as soon as the lights go out and you start losing vision of what's actually going on, especially if you do an infinity focus on your nods, that means I'm focusing on the stars, they're bright and everything, and anything within 5 to 10 feet is actually completely blurry. So during that motion, you're looking, and also you're looking eyes, looking through a glass, looking through another set of glass, and you're doing this with your gun. You want to give yourself the best chance to get something back into this gun and keep it rolling. So this flared magwell and these overlarge controls, paddle controls, everything, even down to the mag button, down to the safety selector, everything being enlarged definitely helps.
Yep. So there's something else too I want to introduce you to. Have you heard of Matt Bach?
Yeah.
So Neil McLean, our buddy Neil, we interviewed Matt Bach. SHOT Show, was it this past year? And he showed us that lens cover that actually gives you like that focus, it was so neat, man. It actually allows you to focus near and far.
Right.
And it's like, that is really cool. Now, granted, I'm not going to say completely rely on that. Go with the motor skills, get those reps in, see how often, just try to do, not at the range, just dry fire, okay? Close your eyes and try to run the gun. And just see what happens. You might think like, oh, I could do this easy, no problem. Then all of a sudden you're like, God,
take away that 1 sense and everything, so it's changing.
Yeah, and so that's something, you know, I've taken always my Mark 18. It's my shorty boy, you know, for the close quarters night vision things that I've done. And I can say, you know, you get really familiar with it, and as long as you just do that repetition, it's always the same. The moment you change something, now all of a sudden your body's having to relearn that, and the muscle memory goes right out the window. So if you get your system set up, run it and practice with it, and dry fire reps I will preach to the end of time. So do that. Now, here's the biggest question. I think what everybody's going to know is how does it shoot?
It's very soft.
Aaron,
Extremely soft.
You want to try?
I say, don't you ignore the good time, my friend.
Let's do it. So before we kick this off here really quick, Jason, let us know, what is the ammo that we're running right now?
So we are running Hornady Black 208 grain subs.
So that'll be pretty cool. Now, typically whenever you shoot something suppressed like this, a lot of people refer to something called the first round pop.
Correct.
And I don't think a lot of people understand that there's still a lot of oxygen in the system here. And so what you're hearing in that very first round is that oxygen expanding and, well, becoming ignited ultimately. And, well, typically after that, it gets a little bit quieter. Do you think we'll experience that today?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Go ahead and shoot one round. And then that second round, just give us a little pause and let's see how it sounds.
All right, going hot. All right, second round.
It's minimal difference. You could tell the very first one definitely had a little bit more muzzle flash, but that second one, by the way.
Yeah, no need for that.
Bro.
That's what I'm holding at.
Yeah, bro. All right, one more again.
All right, here we go. Going hot. Yeah. That's a smooth shot.
Dude, that.
You gotta put your fingers on this.
Oh yeah, that is. Now I will say this though. I mean, I've held it before. I haven't shot it before. She chunky.
I'll say this though,
a little
the
bit.
weight of the hold down in the front
Yeah.
evens it out nice.
So this is what we were talking about on the podcast earlier, which if it's not already live, you want to go check it out. If it's not live yet, it's coming soon. My 14.5 build, she pretty chunky too. And the weight feels like it's dispersed a little bit more, even though I think mine might be about a pound heavier or so. It's longer, right?
Right.
This is more condensed. So initially it feels like, dang, this is pretty heavy. And then all of a sudden you start shooting it, right? You start shooting it and you get it shouldered and you're like, okay.
Balances out nicely.
It balances out nicely because that weight isn't so far out forward. It's a little bit closer to the shooter. But let's go to my turn now. Yeah, that's really cool. That feels good. Now, how much muzzle flash were we getting there?
I didn't see
Hardly any.
Yeah, because I'm not noticing any whatsoever here. I mean, that just, yeah, that's awesome. I forgot to even have my eyes on. And that's the other thing too, is I'm noticing gas. I'm not crying.
No.
I'm not getting a whole lot of gas back to the face or anything like that. And is that just because you got it tuned, or is that just because we've got a combination of this suppressor, this ammo?
I think it's a combination of this suppressor, this ammo, and also the e-brake out front.
Yeah.
It's dissipating any type of extra gas that probably would be in the system.
Yeah.
So other than that, it's just good tuning by SIG.
Dude, this is a solid build. We wanted to bring this on the channel and just kind of talk a little bit about it, because if you really wanted to run something CQB night vision, have a 300 blackout build, Jason's obviously the guy to talk to about that. It's your gun, man. If you want to finish it off, I mean, here, I'll hold you here.
Oh, it's all good. Toss them on the ground.
Bring one for the party.
Oh, there we go.
And it doesn't move.
Dude, yes. I mean, it's a flat shooter too. I mean, the weight should make it a flat shooter, but yeah, that thing feels incredible, man. Now, I'm gonna ask you, Aaron, you spent a little bit of time in law enforcement.
A little bit.
A little bit?
A little bit.
Do you see a purpose for that?
I 100% would have loved to have that in my hand, especially on the teams.
Yeah.
I mean, something that compact, working any CQB, especially in the environment we did.
Yeah.
A lot of those closed hallways, something like that is money.
So I'm gonna ask you, I've got my own opinion. Do you think something like this would be much more of a useful tool for what law enforcement does typically day by day than something like a 5.56 16-inch rifle.
I'd have to agree with you on that,
Yeah.
100%. And again, it's going to depend on your terrain, everything like that, law enforcement, I mean, your city, I mean, the demographics of what you're working in, but I would say for the most part, yes, when it comes to that.
So, and I would agree with that. And the other thing I want to, talk about is 300 Blackout is truly a versatile round. You said that you feel comfortable engaging up to 300 yards with
Absolutely.
this? So,
Absolutely.
and on top of that, and let me specify ammunition wise, 300 yards, what ammo would you run?
Probably 110 or 124 supers.
So,
for sure.
so you're still sending a 110 grain projectile downrange, traveling at what kind of velocity you
You're
think you'll
talking
get?
maybe 24, 2600 at least.
And if you were to put a 5.56 in a very similar configuration, you are losing that velocity. You're losing that ultimately effectiveness of that round because you're talking about full powder burn pretty much at 24 inches, right? It was designed with a 20-inch barrel in mind, a 55 grain specifically. And what's the barrel length?
675?
Yeah, you do that 5.56, you're not. Not something I would recommend. So again, I think this is a fabulous build.
Thank you.
And something that I think we've got that night vision camera now. I think we need to do some more low light stuff. Oh, yeah. Are you in for that?
I'm down.
And I already know Kaya's down for that, So guys, stay tuned for that. I think our buddy Neil McLean wants us to come and play with him at some point too.
Yeah.
That's what I like, Neil.
So stay tuned. I think we've got some really exciting content coming. Comment down below. What do you think of this build? And the number one question that's going to be asked: how much?
Yes.
So comment down below, guys. What do you think of the build? Do you want to build out something similar? If you were to go, now this is a short stroke piston driven operating system.
Correct.
How would you feel if a similar configuration was DI?
To be honest with you, it wouldn't make a difference to me.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make a difference. It's probably going to be a little bit gassier.
Yeah, a little bit gassier, a little bit dirtier.
A little bit dirtier, but I clean my guns every 1,000 rounds, so.
Oh, I was gonna say, I thought you were about to say after every range trip.
No, every 1,000 rounds, especially shooting subs.
I used to do that until I started shooting more, and then that didn't happen anymore.
Yeah, this gun primarily eats subsonic, so that's my purpose for it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
So again, guys, I'm really interested to hear your comments down below. If you're ever out here at Take Aim Training and Range, by the way, and if you asked really nicely and brought some ammo, I'm sure Jason would let you shoot it.
100%. 100%.
And that goes too with any of our guns that you might find at CF Contest. Every now and then we're out here with a 50 cal, and if you've never shot one, again, if you ask nicely, we'll have the ammo on hand for that, all right? But speaking of CF Contest, I think it's a good time to go ahead and navigate that way. Head on over to cfcontest.com. You can go to cfcontest.com/win, or just Classic Firearms, and you'll find that banner. But ultimately, you never know what we might have going on over there. I mean, we'll probably never see that featured, will we? Yeah. I don't think Jason's going to donate his baby over here.
No.
Yep. Now, I do have a question,
Yes.
actually, while we're on the subject of builds. This obviously is your nighttime CQB.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have something more intermediate?
Yes, I do.
And something, what about distance-wise?
Absolutely.
I feel like this is going to be a series
Part 2,
here.
3, 4
Yeah.
coming.
I think so. And you guys are probably wondering, like, since we're talking CQB, where's the Mark 18 at? You guys have seen it enough, don't worry, it might be hanging out in the back. Maybe next time. But yeah, let's talk about intermediate builds next to go ahead and get something a little bit more versatile if we wanted to reach out a little bit further than that. I think that'd be pretty fun.
Absolutely.
Comment section, light it up. We'll see you guys. As always, we appreciate you and your viewership.